In section 5, topic 8, we looked at how the quadratic formula was derived so that we can now use it to solve quadratic equations. We want to be sure that the quadratic equations are written in standard form where a is not equal to 0. When that's the case, we can use the quadratic formula here, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times ac, all divided by 2 times a. The very first thing that you do is you set the quadratic equation equal to 0. After you set it equal to 0, you identify the a, b, and c terms. After that, you substitute a, b, and c into the quadratic formula and evaluate to find the zeros. Let's take a look at our first example. And it's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 3. Remember, we have learned how to factor, so you can solve this by factoring, but this is another method. Using the quadratic formula is another method if factoring was not something that you liked or was not something that you found very easy to do. So if we take a look here, this is already set equal to 0. I just forgot to write equal 0. So I can identify my a term. The coefficient of x squared is 1, so my a is equal to 1. The coefficient of x is negative 4, so my b is negative 4. And the constant term, which is our c, is going to be positive 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sub those values into the equation or the formula, So you can look at that as negative b, but it's a little bit better because negative means negative 1 times b. You can also take a look at it very easily and say the opposite of b. So what is the opposite of our b? The opposite of negative 4 is going to be 4. So we can write 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared. Remember, b is negative 4. So negative 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 3, all divided by 2 times a, and a is 1. Now we have x is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16. And then we have negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. And negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. So we're going to write minus 12. And that's going to be all divided by 2. Now we have x is equal to 4 plus, we can figure out 16 minus 12, which is 4, so the square root of 4, all divided by 2. We can simplify just a little bit more. I forgot my minus there. And we can simplify it to get x is equal to 4 plus or minus 2, because the square root of 4 is 2, and then divide that by 2. We can break this out into two problems. X is equal to 4 plus 2 divided by 2, or x is equal to 4 minus 2 divided by 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have x is equal to 3, or 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 1. Alright, if we were to write that as a solution set, we would write 1, 3.